Alright. I gotta do this live because my phone's being a bitch. And my storage is now full. My visit, Like, Base looks weird as shit. Now I just gotta share this because now I'm live. I'm like, fuck it, share it now. Even though it's literally 12:30 at night. If you're up and come watch, I had to do this live because my phone is a dick. There we go. And that. Close. Everyone. God damn, there's so much fucking setting up. I forgot how much fucking live is. Jesus, just say hello for everyone. Yeah, fuck it. Where the fuck did my tweet go? What the fuck? God damn it. Alright. Anyway. Gonna like my own video because fucking I'm gonna be that douchebag. Anyway. I am here to fix the New York Yankees today. I wanted this to turn sideways, but I have to this way because fucking anyway. I am here to fix the New York Yankees. Yes, I'm wearing the Toy Story shirt. If you don't like it, fuck you. Anyway. I am going to fix the New York Yankees via trades. Because that's the only way you can fix it, because there ain't fucking nobody in free agency. Anyway. First off, there will be a trade that will send Giancarlo Stanton to the Texas Rangers in exchange for Dane Dunning. Now, the New York Yankees lost Carlos Rodon for a month and Frankie Montas for, what did you guess it, the whole season. Because, oh my God, Cashman traded for an injured pitcher. What would you have guessed? Holy shit. My mind is blown. So, I had to sacrifice a little bit of offense for a little bit of pitching depth. But let's be honest, this offense wasn't doing jack shit regardless. So who cares? Of how it's constructed right now, ain't not a single fucking shit's doing. Anyway. So that's Stanton to the Rangers, Dane Dunning to the Yankees. Anyway, the next trade is a pure just salary dump. I'm dumping salary. This is just cut cost. $15 million off the book. Well, $19.1 million off the books. It would be a 3-team trade between the Cubs, the Mets, and the Yankees. The Cubs would acquire infielder DJ LeMahieu, Eliezer Hernandez for the bullpen. Mets would acquire Lou Trevino, and the Yankees would acquire Jeremiah Estrada, Edwin Rijos, Jose Buto, and Stanley Concheria. Buto and Concheria would come from the Mets for Trevino, and Rijos and Estrada would come from the Cubs for LeMahieu and Eliezer Hernandez. Which this trade gets you Volpe and Peraza straight up the middle. If you have a guy straight up the middle, if Hal wants Estrada, I'm an idiot. I just looked at Estrada's name on my paper and I said the name. Anyway, if he wants Volpe and Peraza up the middle, put Volpe at second, Peraza at short. And then I'll get to who's that third layer. Anyway, that was a pure just salary dump. The next trade is also just a pure salary dump. But you're going to get a little confused, a little conflustered, if you will. A little flustered, if you will. The Yankees would send Kyle Higashioka over to the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Andres Alvarez. That's just whatever. It's whatever. But you'll figure out why I do that moments later. Anyway. And also, the Pirates, I forgot to include this on the last trade anyway. The New York Yankees would send Albert Abreu to Pittsburgh for left-handed pitcher Jose Hernandez. That's just, to get depth on the roster, you can't option Albert Abreu anymore. So, move on. You're not putting him in the bullpen long term. Move on. The next one is the same premise. You can't option him. Just move him off the roster for depth. You can option Jimmy Cordero to the San Francisco Giants for Sean Hageli. It's whatever. It's a whatever for whatever trade. The next trade is you're getting depth. The goal of these trades is get depth underneath your pitching staff and your infielders and outfielders. Get depth all across your bottom roster. You're 27 to 40. That's pretty much the goal, is get the depth in between 27 and 40 on your roster. Scott Efros would go to Philadelphia because you are signing, if you're Philadelphia, you're signing a lot of one-year deals and you extended your core guys. Your core bullpen pieces are there. But there's a few guys leaving after the season. Scott Efros is coming back late in the season. So Scott Efros and infielder Jesus Bastidas would go over to the Philadelphia Phillies. In exchange, the Yankees would receive and acquire Scott Kingery, Andrew Baker, and Francisco Morales. You get a nice prospect in Andrew Baker. You get an infielder, an outfielder, utility guy in Scott Kingery, who's $6 million cheaper than Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. But you're asking, okay, you traded DJ LeMahieu, you traded Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, you want to keep Torres, you want Volpe and Peraza up the middle, but you just brought in Scott Efros. Or not Scott Efros, Scott Kingery, I'm sorry. You just brought in Scott Kingery. Your infield's still log-jammed. There, bud. That will be fixed in mere moments. Again. But we'll get to that momentarily. First order of business before that is Domingo Germán. You can't option him to the minors. You really can't do anything with him. He's losing the fifth starter spot to Clark Schmidt. That's pretty obvious right now. Just trade him to a team where he can either be a lights out good reliever, but I would say the Marlins probably need a closer, and Domingo Herman could fit that kind of Jorge Lopez role of switching to the bullpen. So the Yankees would send Domingo Herman to the Marlins in exchange for Carson Milbrandt and Troy Johnson. You get a first base depth, and you get a guy in Carson Milbrandt who just got drafted. Who got drafted, I think, either this year or last year. But I know he was a third round pick, so he's either this year or last year, but he's a pitcher, and he's kind of blocked in that loaded Miami farm system. So, you know what? Just give us a little bit of a need. Just give us a little bit of prospects so we can, use it for a future trade, if you will. And Troy Johnson would be used as just depth for the aforementioned Edwin Rijos and Anthony Rizzo. Hang on, give me 1 second. Yes, that's not Pepsi bottle. Anyway. Boom. Anyway. Alright. Now that my phone is actually charging, which is good, if it'll charge. There we go. Alright, anyway. The next deal is the Guardians I've seen don't have real much depth of left-handed pitchers. We have a guy who's a free agent at season's end. I'm like, we're not resigning him. So maybe we can get a haul after that postseason he just had. So, Guardians, here you go. A little bit of left-hand relief pitching help. Wandy Peralta would go to the Cleveland Guardians in exchange for Joey Cantillo. I apologize. I can't name names. Whatever. Jose Tena, infielder, would go over for them. Would go over for Wandy Peralta. But you got a little bit of depth. You got a little bit of left-handed pitching depth. Okay, anyway, we're good. You got a little bit of pitching depth there. You got a little depth in your farm system. Got a little bit of depth in your farm system with Jose Tena, who's on the full. He'll go right on your 40-man, and Jose Tena, which will go right on your 40-man. These are depth moves. Good moves. Okay, got it. I already got that notification. Anyway. But that's Wandy Peralta to Cleveland, Jose Tena, and Joey Cantillo to the Yankees. That next trade is going to piss a lot of people off. Because the Nationals, we would call them up, send Josh Donaldson and Aaron Hicks over to the Nationals, along with Tyler Hardman, Andres Chaparro, Luis Gil, and Carson Coleman in exchange for Patrick Corbin. Now, why do I do this exactly? I have my rotation being Cole, Rodon, Sevy, Cortez, and Dunning. And Schmidt. Can't forget Schmidt. I like 6 starters. Just because it keeps people healthy, have bullets saved for postseason time, where the bullets count. But why am I doing this exactly? Where does exactly Corbin fit in that? Because I just named 6 starters. Cole, Rodon, Sevy, Cortez, Dunning, Schmidt. He would go to the bullpen because his starting days are over. Those are done. So, name me a pitcher in this farm system that's there that we can develop. Name it, please. I'm all ears. Oh, nobody. Okay, so we have absolutely nobody in this current farm system right now. Not the prospects I acquired. But right now, we have absolutely nobody in that farm system that's a left-handed pitcher that can come up and go boom. There you go. So this gives us a little bit of insurance for 2 years where you can develop a guy, get him from the lower minor leagues, get him from A ball, put him in the bullpen, and you rock it. And you can rocket him to the majors. Get him in low A, get him in double A, start him in triple A in 2024, and boom, he's in the majors in 2025 when Corbin's a free agent. And the prospects are not for this year's payroll because they are taking more money on this year. And yes, I was wrong when I was debating people on Twitter about Donaldson being a $23 million luxury tax hit. He's a 6. So it'd be $16 million to them in 2024 and $23.3 million for us. These prospects aren't for next year. Aren't for next year's Nationals payroll. They're for this year's Nationals payroll because they are taking on $35 million. But the fruits of the farm system won't show until next year. When Chaparro's the third baseman of the future for the Nationals, and Hardman's the first baseman of the future for the Nationals. And Luis Gil is probably in that bullpen mix somewhere. And Carson Coleman is just depth. Because we're taking on more of the brunt in 2024. They're taking on more of the brunt in 2023. So it evens itself out. And you also give them prospects to take on that heavy burden for next year while we take on, actually no, heavy burden on for this year while we take it on for next. And boom, Donaldson and Hicks are told to fuck off. You get insurance for the next left-handed relief pitcher you're developing, or you can sign from out of state or out of the states to Japan, China, Korea, anywhere you want to find a left-handed relief pitcher that gives you insurance. Acquiring Corbin gives you insurance. And instead of having $2 million, because $2 million sounds like a lot of money to the normal average person like me and probably you watching this video right now of wherever you're doing. But $2 million for a major league player, you're not really getting much. You're not getting a lot here, people. You're just not. This trade, along with the DJ and Stanton trade, the Stanton trade saves you $22 million. DJ trade saves you $15. That combined is already $37 million. This saves you $11.7 million. So now you're at 37. Now you're at 47. Now you're at 48, I mean. Now you're at 48. Which is good. 48.7 million. Which you divide that by 2, which is probably like, what, 22, 28? You're in like the 22 to 28 range in there. In that ballpark to spend for the deadline. That's a lot of moolah there. $28 million for the deadline? That's a lot of money. You're talking, because Hal's not going over that $293 million budget. He ain't doing that. You joking? He ain't doing that? Nah, no. He ain't doing that. But that saves you a lot of money you could spend at the deadline. Which will be good. But anyway. Now, as you seen earlier in the video, I did acquire the services of Scott Kingery. I did, but have still a kind of a logjam in the infield. I'm thinking of a joke. Anyway, Isaiah Kiner Falefa would be going on a trip. God damn it. How does Charlie think of these and not bust out laughing? Jesus. God damn it, Moist. Oh my god. Anyway, Isaiah Kiner Falefa would be. I'm not even going to say it. Would be moving to Colorado for the Rockies. In exchange, we would get a competitive balance round B pick, which now this would return us our technical fifth that we had to give up for Carlos Rodon when we signed him. We don't get back the second, sadly. We're not sending anybody over to get one of those competitive balance round A picks. We get a round B pick, which would bring us technically back to that fifth round pick if you technically want to count it. So that competitive balance round B pick would be sent to the Yankees for Isaiah Kiner Falefa, which would be good because you get a little bit of draft pick back what you had to forfeit for Carlos Rodon. Very productive, and you give the Rockies a little bit of sense of maybe you can contend. Maybe we'll give you this depth bench piece. You can contend. Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. This is where the Yankees start acquiring some MLB talent here. A guy we should have never traded. Hang on. Anyway, a guy we should have never traded in JP Shears. I just saw myself drink the soda. Jesus. JP Shears from the Oakland Athletics to the New York Yankees for Luis Cernia and Sean Herman. A little bit of a low-A prospects, rookie ball prospects. Give it until the Athletics move to Las Vegas. Because let's be honest, they ain't staying in Oakland. They're probably moving to Vegas, so it gives them some prospects just to have for Vegas move. And JP Shears, this dude is going to be a stud. We are going to regret trading JP Shears. But JP Shears, if he returns to New York in this trade, Luis Cernia and Sean Herman to the Athletics for JP Shears, my dude is Clay Holmes 2.0. I guarantee you he's going to be Clay Holmes 2.0. But the next trade is going to confuse some people. So I will lay it out. And I'm going a little bit on a limb here. And I'm going to say, I'm looking around for some big star talent. Looking around, getting my beady eyes on the field. Looking around, and I spot somebody in LA. Actually, wait, now I gotta look this way because LA is this way. I see a Will Smith who is probably going to get replaced by Diego Cartaya. So I decided how my brain works. The one brain cell was going on a treadmill. And I decided they're probably going to trade Will Smith because they have Diego Cartaya, and they probably want Diego Cartaya to get all of the reps in 2024. So the Dodgers would send the Yankees Will Smith in exchange for a package of prospects of Will Warren, Austin Wells, Yandres Gomez, and Everson Pieta. Yes, I'm giving it a haul for a catcher, but they're not looking to extend a Will Smith long term. And Will Smith and Jose Trevino to be a catcher's duo is elite. That offense upside, defense upside, maybe stolen base upside. I haven't looked at Will Smith's stolen bases, but he's probably not because he's a catcher. But anyway, you get one of the premier catchers in this league, and my God, your lineup is looking different. But anyway, on to the aforementioned lineup. That trade might be wild, but it's going on a limb. But on to the aforementioned lineup. The lineup will be batting first, Anthony Volpe, playing second base. Batting second and playing left field will be Estevan Florial. Batting third at third base, because I'm moving him over there, Gleyber Torres, because the shift rules count for a more athletic second baseman. So I'm like, all right, Gleyber's more athletic. Probably going to move him over to third. Have my two athletic infielders in the middle, where you need a little bit more range. Peraza can be insurance for Torres as he learns third base. And you're good. Anyway. So batting fourth at the designated hitter will be Aaron Judge. Now, I will explain why in a moment. Batting fifth will be first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Batting sixth will be newly acquired catcher Will Smith. Batting seventh will be Harrison Bader. Now with this, I didn't really find an outfielder because I don't know how long Harrison Bader will be out for. Knowing the Yankees, he's probably gone for the season because for some freaking reason, we just decided, hey, let's get injured players because why the fuck not? Anyway. So Bader would be batting seventh, playing center field unless he's hurt, and then you can acquire an outfielder at the deadline. You can acquire a center fielder at the deadline or just move Florial to center field and acquire a left fielder at the deadline. But anyway. Batting eighth will be right fielder Rafael Ortega. Now you're asking, why Rafael Ortega? Over Willie Calhoun, who's shown offense. I'm picking Rafael Ortega because he has more defensive upside than Willie Calhoun. But I'm going to pick the more defensive upside until I get Dominguez up at the trade deadline. Going to give him 200 ABs, 150 minimum, 200 max at AA. Let him develop a little bit, get all the kinks out, and then he's a fully fleshed product when the trade deadline comes and Dominguez is now in the lineup batting eighth. Or unless Bader's out for the whole year. Or unless Bader's out for the whole entire season, then you can just move Volpe to seventh, Dominguez first, and then it goes Dominguez, Florial, Torres, Judge, Rizzo, Smith, Volpe, Dominguez, or Edwin Rijos, and then Peraza. Rijos would be the DH. Judge would go to center. Actually, no. Judge would go to center. No. Flo would go to center. Dominguez would go to left. Judge would go to right. Actually, no. Like Florial in left, Judge in center, and then Dominguez will go to right after the trade deadline. At the trade deadline, actually. Would be on trade deadline day. Hence why he's our trade deadline asset. Anyway. You can make t-shirts out of it. There you go, Yankees. Just gave you a t-shirt. Just gave you a t-shirt idea. The acquired Martian. Anyway. Just gave someone a t-shirt idea. For the trade deadline. Dominguez. Yeah, Dominguez would go to right. Florial would go to center. And then, no. Judge would go to center. Florial would be in right. If Bader's out all year. then you can just. But if Bader's out only like 2 months, maybe, then it's like, why acquire an outfielder at that point? Just get someone from the minor leagues, put them in center field for a little bit, and then designate them for assignment. Or option them back to AAA. Whichever one you want to choose. And batting ninth will be Oswald Peraza. Which this works so well. Because when you have Dominguez up, now you have 1, 2 be your contact speed guys. 9, 8 be your contact speed guys. Your 3 to 7 be your contact power mix. Be your contact and your power mix. This is a much more fleshed out lineup than the power and whatever the fuck we have. Because, oh my god, that. Watching Team USA today, or listening to Team USA today, it is good to root for a team when you're in a big game that you know can actually win some fucking shit. And I don't give Cashman a lot of credit, but I'm going to credit him with saying, yeah, we didn't get swept. You would have had to actually fucking show up to get swept. Just saying. You would have had to actually, do this thing called show up to get swept. There you go, Yankees. You didn't get swept. You would have actually had to show up to get swept. That's what a sweep is. You would have to actually show up to get swept. You were still dirt on someone's shoe that didn't come off in the store to sweep at night, at close. Anyway, that's the lineup. Again, Volpe, Florial, Torres, Judge, Rizzo, the newly acquired Will Smith, Bader, Ortega until Dominguez is ready, and Peraza. The rotation I've already said would be Cole, Rodon, Severino, Cortez, and Dunning, the newly acquired Dane Dunning from Texas, and Schmidt. Come on, paper. Jesus. And then your bench would be Jose Trevino, Edwin Rijos, who would alternate with Anthony Rizzo, Scott Kingery, who would just be your regular 26-man on the roster, just if somebody needs rest, playing a lot, and Cabrera's already in use, just slide them in a position. Cabrera would be the guy that's your Ben Zobrist. Cabrera would be the guy playing second, short, third, left, right, center, right, first when you need it. Would be alternating all those positions. And even Edwin Rijos can play second, can play a third, can play a left, can play a right. Can play a right. No, can play. Probably can't play left field in the Yankee Stadium now thinking about it. Can play right field in Yankee Stadium if needed, but probably wouldn't put him out there. But I would just keep him in the infield. A little bit of versatility for your backup first baseman always helps. Scott Kingery would be your normal 26-man. Cabrera would be your utility guy. That's your Ben Zobrist type. Would play second, short, third, left, center, right. And then first base every single day. So basically, Oswaldo Cabrera is basically your 10th man in the lineup. Basically your 10th man in the lineup. That's basically what he is. He's just a 10th man in the lineup. That's it. He's a 10th man. That's it. Because he's going to be playing everywhere, every day. So, there you go, Yankees. Just gave you a t-shirt idea. He's a 10th man. I don't know how that's going to fly over with Seattle Seahawks because they have the 12th man. But whatever. You have money. You can probably get something. You could probably ask the Seahawks if this does any copyright issues or anything. But that's about it. That's how I would fix the New York Yankees. Obviously, I can't fire Aaron Boone or fire the dickhead that is Brian Cashman. I can't do any of that, sadly. Oh my god, I wish we had a better GM and a manager. Now, all this, you could have a better goddamn manager if, the dugout wasn't a funeral home after 2 goddamn runs were scored. Because Jesus Christ, every time when this team is down, 2 runs. Just feels like we're at a funeral home watching someone go, dead. Or no, fucking dead. I don't understand how Boone can have this team so dead after being down 2 runs. Maybe a youth ejection will actually help this corpse of a team. That's about it. Have a good day. Now, how do I end this?